Hi, folks. I'm Beck Mordini, the founder of Villaging Life. Villaging Life is a movement that allows you to make your neighborhood function and feel more like a traditional village. We're not talking about village as in a metaphor or a community, but think about real villages. It can be difficult for us to do as Americans because we don't really have the same kind of villages left that they have around the rest of the world. But villages are very real. In Great Britain alone, there are 10,000 villages. And I'm sure you've seen movies or videos or documentaries that take place in European villages or in indigenous villages around the world. Why would you want to do that? For me, when I walk around my neighborhood, which during COVID ended up being one of the only things you could do for entertainment, but I love to walk around my neighborhood anyway. And I think about what would it be like if all that walking actually took me someplace. My GPS says it's about 1.5 miles round trip. And I'm thinking, wow, what if I was walking down the street and the yards were full of people and I passed people who greeted me by name? That's a cool feeling. And I knew them and they knew me. Maybe we'd work together on something villaging like. And so it made me think a lot about the humble village. And is there a way to bring forward the great things about a village and actually do them and bring them into the neighborhood? And so villages are not just housing. Our neighborhoods are just housing. But villages are places where things are produced. They're generally surrounded by farmland where food is produced. People live in houses surrounded by gardens with flowers and medicinal herbs. They're all grown there and produced. In your village, bread is baked, clothes are sewn, bikes are repaired, things are happening. It's not a place where we're just housed. It's a place where people live. And that's the second part of villaging is the living. So you have being seen, you have converting housing to living. And then the third thing is that these things that are done are not done in isolation. They're done with other people in walking distance in your own village/neighborhood. And villaging, what I believe and what villaging is based on is that working and producing together produces connections and bonds in a way that just social activities don't. So we're connected by doing. Now, when you walk around your neighborhood and it's full of people that you've actually produced things with, people that you rely on for your bike fixing, for all those different kinds of things. And beyond socializing, you've created this web of interdependence. So when I thought about how can I share this vision with other people, usually I'm a community organizer. I have created the founder of a nonprofit organization, executive director, head of marketing and community activism in my church, in my community, and the city council. And I decided I didn't want to do any of that. I really want to experiment with Villaging Life in a different model. Instead of getting together a group of like-minded people to have meetings and create a structure and get everybody to do something, villaging isn't really about getting everyone together to turn your neighborhood into a village. It's based on an organic model of growth, a decentralized model. And so it starts very simply with start with your vision of what a village looks like to you in your neighborhood. Imagine your neighborhood as a village. Number two, what do you want to be doing in this village? What is your role? Are you baking? Are you growing? Are you fixing things? And number three, finding one other person to do that thing with. So you start with just one connection. And you can pull in a third person, if you want to, and create a pod. So say you are growing tomatoes. You can find somebody in your neighborhood to help grow tomatoes. Pick your yard, their yard. You share the weeding, you share the watering, and you share the bounty of your harvest. And so there's any number of activities that you'll find on Villaging Life website that you can apply these skills to. So that's a decentralized model. No meetings. Well, how does this work? The hope is that all these different little pods of things going on begin to connect together. And eventually what you have is a web of villaging activities that underlies the daily life in your neighborhood and brings it to life. And you move from housing to living and thriving together. And I believe that is going to produce more happiness, more abundance, and more fulfillment, and more security in these uncertain times. And as a village, your neighborhood will be ready for anything that might come up. So I hope you will join me, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and find out more about Villaging Life and all the different, we'll be sharing stories, interviewing people, and just really fleshing out what this looks like. So I'm interested to hear what you think of it, and hope to see you next week at the Villaging Life. Thank you.